Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today we'll be reviewing Flight Risk.
The movie stars Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace.
Y'all need a pilot. So in this thriller, we find Mark Wahlberg piloting Michelle Dockery, who is a U.S. Marshal, and Topher, who is a witness against a mob trial in New York. As he has fled to Alaska, she's trying to bring him back. So the 90 minutes takes place as they are transporting him, as the thriller ensues, and we see our protagonist fight against the villain and try and land the plane on her own. So I'm going to start off the review today, and directed by Mel Gibson. This was an interesting film. It was a lower budget one of his films, so it's no Passion of the Christ or Apocalypto, but it was interesting, had a few good laughs in it, which I enjoyed quite a fair bit. Topher Grace is the comic relief for this film, but I mainly enjoyed the action. There's not much of it, but the scenes in the plane, it feels like they were like filming in a real plane, and it looks for the most part quite good. Some of the CGI is a bit on the nose, especially at the start at the motel scene, but you're pretty much locked into that plane for the whole 90 minutes. There's not really much variance to that. You're on the runway for a couple minutes at the end, and you're at the motel a couple minutes at the start, but other than that, you're pretty much flying in the Alaskan mountains for 90 minutes. So you better be prepared for something like that. Kind of reminds me of the Breaking Bad episode where they're trying to find the fly in the lab. It keeps going and going, and it's pretty much Mark Wahlberg escapes and comes back, and escapes and comes back, and it's just much of a muchness. Kind of feels like a TV episode, B movie. It's not something that I would like instinctively think is a thriller, because the trailer kind of gives all the main things that are going to happen in the film away. So the whole plot point of Mark Wahlberg being the assassin is already told in the trailer, so it's not something that surprises you. So it's mainly what's going to happen after that. Michelle Dockery, she did a good job, I think, being English, did an alright American accent. So she was an interesting character at least. And there are a couple of things in the film that happen to her character that are interesting. You got Leah Remini on the phone as her boss, and there's a whole subplot with all the people in the office going on. So you've got a few people on the phone. You've got Hassan, the pilot, who's helping her land the plane and fly the plane. So he's quite funny and pretty much hitting on her the whole film. So adds a little bit of something else, a bit of comedy to it. But other than that, it's pretty stock standard of a B movie for me. So yeah, Mirren?
There was so much potential, like just the concept alone. I think there so much could have been done here, but instead we have a movie where Marky Mark is just going off and he's having fun, so much fun. I mean, the dialogue in this movie was really bad, so I was laughing at how bad the dialogue was and how Mark Wahlberg was delivering the dialogue. I was It was sort of landish towards like guilty pleasure, but it is not, because they are for a few moments here and there, like there was some tension during the scenes. I didn't know it was Topher Grace until I read here, so it was Topher Grace, so that's good, I guess. Like John pointed, I think Michelle Dockery, I think she was probably the best actor. Like she was actually trying her best, and she was giving actually a good performance here. And I think a lot of movies just on the phone, like she's talking on the phone and she has to do this and that, and they're trying to find a mole and trying to land the plane. So there's so much time spent on the phone. Instead, I would love something else. And Mark Wahlberg, like John said, he comes back, goes back. There could have been so much more that needed could have been done here. So yeah, a bit of a letdown, honestly. Cameron?
Yeah, this movie, like I agree with Min, had so much potential. Watching the trailer, I was actually really excited about it. But what let it down the most for me was the lack of tension throughout the whole movie. I didn't really feel it until right at the end. But what surprised me the most was the humor. I actually really got into the humor and had a few laughs throughout the movie, so I actually enjoyed that. Whether it was on purpose or not, it made me laugh a lot, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, for about 80% of the movie, when they're dragging it out and just flying over to get to the landing strip, that did drag out. But I have to say, it paid off in the end, because that landing scene was well done. It was shot fantastic. It sort of came out of the blue, really, when they land, and all the shenanigans keep happening when they land. And you know what? That was probably a great payoff. So, you know, this could have really left a sour taste in my mouth after watching it. But that ending really just put a smile on my face. Even how Marky Mark's character finishes in the end, that actually shook me, and it was actually quite entertaining. And then his last escape as well, that whole last sequence when they're landing from start to finish, that was the most tension that I felt in the whole movie, and it was the best part for me, and I really think that saved the movie in my eyes.
I do agree about the last couple of 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
The tension was there, and yeah.
Because we broke it up. That's what it is.
Yeah,
You're doing something
probably
different.
it's something different, yeah.
Yeah, I think it looked like a real plane was landing, if that makes sense. It may have been a real plane, but what I'm saying is it looked like all in keeping with the film. Last 10-15 minutes, especially like when they find the boat and after what's happened the last time with Mark Wahlberg. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's not much you can't spoil for this film, because pretty much going back, nearly everything that would be a shock is in the trailer.
Okay.
So
Probably, yeah.
it's like the ambulance of trailers for this year.
Yeah, but at least they didn't give away the ending.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy each characters, and the way they go off each other, I did enjoy. It was just, I don't know, it just felt draggy in the middle. Like, I didn't care.
Well, we weren't really doing much. It was mainly she was like switching between people on a phone.
Yeah, that's the
Topher Grace
biggest
is just sitting there going, let's make a joke, make a joke, make a joke.
Yeah, but I
You know what I
enjoyed that
mean?
joke,
But that's why it's like we had a bit, probably like the first 20 minutes of the film were pretty good up until Mark Wahlberg does the reveal, has the fight, and then gets tied up. There weren't much of a sameness for the majority of the film. That's
For the
where
next hour,
it lets me down a bit. I would have preferred maybe midway through the film, tries to open the door of the plane or something, and something happens in that, mid-air, something, because relatively we were pretty safe in that plane, if you think about it. But
Yeah, there was definitely no tension during that flight,
No.
because I didn't feel at all like the plane was going to go, they were going to die. They made it pretty obvious, Marky Mark's character made it pretty obvious, he wasn't going to kill them straight away, he wanted to have fun. So then that killed all tension that was there. And then they tried to explain it.
You know, for most movies, just tied up, so
Yeah.
can't do
and he
much
keeps
there.
he keeps escaping, but I would have preferred it, for example, near the end when he got the knife.
Yeah.
And he's trying to use it. If we didn't see him getting the knife, so we see it at the start under the seat, and then you just forget about it, and all of a sudden you're like, what the hell is this not? And it makes you think a bit.
Oh,
Whereas
no,
opposed
they
to
do pan to it a couple of times.
No, but that's what I mean. I would have preferred not to have it panned to. So it would have been, I forgot about it from the start, and it's like, oh, okay, that's how it happened.
Nah, so when I saw the knife, I was waiting when they're gonna use it. So in my head, I was like,
yeah, you were thinking, how is he going to pull this off?
Yeah.
As opposed to, they tilted the plane and the knife came to him. So in thinking about it full circle now, it was probably the right choice what Mel did, because if he just saw the knife, we probably would have complained about it and gone, that was convenient, wasn't it?
Yeah, okay, I guess so. Yeah, but I think Mark Wahlberg's choice to shave his head for the film
fantastic.
was just I don't know, he kind of looks like Cletus from The Farm had a slow cousin, just I don't know, I don't know what he was thinking, or whoever was thinking.
I loved him.
It makes it go from an intense character. The second the hat comes off, he looks like that. I don't know, he didn't look like he was crazy, he just looks like just weird. I don't know. It just
I
made
love-
him a lot less menacing to
Oh,
me.
come on. When
Nah,
he
he
moved there, I
was
was
a
like, wow, this
psycho.
guy is, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a
Yeah,
plane with this
yeah,
guy.
true.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
With the hat, all right,
Oh,
you know, it looks
yeah.
like some redneck American.
probably.
But then when that hat comes off, I'm like, hell no.
Yeah, even Topher Grace, he said it, I don't want to get molested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just,
Oh yeah.
Are we going to give our scores?
yeah,
Yep.
Moon, how many planes out of 10?
I'll give it 6 planes out of 10.
John?
Yeah, I'll give it 6 planes out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it 6.5 planes out of 10. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and catch you on the next one. Ciao.